What's cracking, good people? Welcome back to another dope-ass episode of the Homies Podcast. You already know who the fuck I am. I'm your host, Ellis. And thank y'all for tuning in for another week, man. If you haven't already, please go hit that subscribe button one time for your boy. Please, man, it'd be much appreciated. So this week, we're talking about some shit that affects all of us. Some in a good way, but probably most in a bad fucking way, especially in the black community. And this is why we're just trying to educate people today on this subject. And the subject today is credit. And being that I'm not an expert at the shit, I'm new at this credit game, and I don't want to act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I had to bring on the professional to explain the do's and don'ts of this credit game and shit. So I got the credit bully himself today. My homie, y'all homie. Give it up for Mr. Kyle James. What up with you, Kevin? Hey, good, man. Hey, thank you for stopping by today, man. You already know I appreciate that.
For sure.
Early in the morning and shit. I'm glad you're getting up and coming through.
Sure.
Appreciate that. So we got a lot of shit to talk about today, so I'm going to just jump right into it and shit. So first off, before we get into your actual business, man, I just want to ask, like, how did you get started into credit, and how did you become more knowledgeable, like, at the subject and shit?
So I got started into credit, it was at 2017, and it was just kind of, I was around people that kind of knew it, and I was just hearing them talk about it. Mm-hmm. And when I was listening to them talk about it, you know, it's just my brain just started moving because, you know, one of the things I do is, like, I invest in real estate. So, basically, when you have good credit, you open the doors up to so much opportunity. You know, owning assets or, you know, even having money for funding if you wanted to do some type of business venture. Like, stuff like that. It really intrigued me. So that's really the reason why I went into credit back, what was that? 3 years ago now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that was going to be, like, my next question for you. I was like, outside of just, of course, monetary reasons, right, you know, just making bread, like, what was, like, the main reason for you starting your, like, the credit repair company?
Empowering people. Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because you just see people that have bad credit and they can't even get an apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they can't even get an apartment, let alone a car. They need a cosigner, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like you're so limited when when your credit is bad or you don't have any credit. And I'm just telling you, like, the feeling you have when you have great credit and literally you can get anything you want, it's a feeling that you just...
It's like you're talking from personal experience.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Have you, you know, not to get personal on niggas' credit, but it seems like you've been on both ends.
100%.
Like, yeah,
100%.
And life is, I'm sure, been a lot easier since the credit has been... Okay, I got you. And so... Outside of, like, again, I don't know how you were raised, but the way I was raised, like, in our community and with my family, they were just always taught, like, hey, bruh, credit is bad. Don't do the shit. It's a white man's trap. You're going to be in debt forever. Just stay away. And that's really for the reason why I stayed away from, like, credit cards and shit, like, most of my life is because, you know, no knock to my parents, you know, love y'all. But, you know, they didn't know a lot of shit about it. So they just like, hey, stay away from that shit. It's going to put you in debt. Was that kind of like the same experience you had growing up, or was it like you kind of had people more in the house like, nah, bro, this is...
I wasn't educated on it growing up. Like, this is just something, like, again, I just came up on, like, I knew, you always know, oh, well, have good credit, you want, like, just don't, you want to protect your credit, like, but nobody tells you how, and nobody tells you why. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, that's why most people don't have good credit, because they don't know how and they don't know why. Mm-hmm. Right? So... basically what I'm saying is, you asked me again.
Oh, yeah, this is about, like, your family and the upbringing. Like, were you around that environment? Did you have people kind of putting you on game, putting it in your ear while you were younger?
No.
It was kind of like,
no, like, it's just, like, again, like, you start to, when you know what you want or, like, know what direction you want to go in, then especially kind of, like, as an entrepreneur, like, you start to figure out, like how, like, you know, you start asking, like, different type of questions. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, a lot of people, when they first start a business, oh, well, I don't have any money to start a business. Okay, well, you know, if you have good credit, like, you can get business loans, you can get personal loans, you can get credit cards, like, there's your money to start your business. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that people, you have to think outside the box. So it's
Mm-hmm.
it's an outside the box type of mentality. Also, what you said with kind of like viewing it bad,
Mm-hmm.
that that narrative was heard,
Mm-hmm.
but that's more of a it's a broke person's mentality.
This is a poor people shit.
Yeah, it's a poor people's mentality because like you're looking at it more like a consumer instead of like an investor. Because,
what can it do for you?
Exactly.
I got you.
Because people are using it more to consume. They want to get stuff that doesn't matter or gives them no return. Like when you have credit or you're using credit cards, personal loans, business loans, like that. If you're not using that money to make you any money, like that's really the only thing you really should be using it for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The main thing you should be using it for. You get what I'm saying? So
I got you. And you shouldn't be using like how motherfuckers, like I said, you sign in your fucking kid's 6 years old and got a motherfucking apartment in his name, fucking up everybody's credit.
I mean, unless the thing too is like it's not a bad idea like that. Like you can do that if it makes sense. Like, are you doing it just to consume, or like because your credit's so bad and you want to use your kid's credit because you can't get anything, or are you using it? Are you doing that to actually maybe start making some money by leveraging their credit and maybe now like creating their college fund from that? Something like that, you know what I'm saying? But
something that's gonna help build on something later.
Exactly.
I got you.
Just income producing, like that's what you need to look for. Like with credit, credit is, you could use it to build wealth. Like that's just really what it is.
Right? Because last time I checked, I don't know anybody that I consider wealthy that doesn't have great or excellent credit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and a lot of these people, I feel like they use their credit because they're like, nigga, I'm not using my actual money.
Right.
Like, no, I'm going to use this money and I can pay it back later or whatever, but yeah, I'm using other people's shit, like OPM type shit.
Yeah, and that's and it's crazy because I've met two different types of investors. There are investors that move just like that, but there are those investors that are that have gotten to a level where they're cash rich kind of, and it's like, well, why would I pay the interest rate? Like it's basically like an all money in type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? So because when you're borrowing money, obviously you have to pay interest. But it's like if you're cash rich, and you have your money, you have enough cash to do deals, and you just want to basically make more money or not pay that interest, and they do it. So it just depends on what position you're in and
which one do you think is the better
how you
one?
view it.
Which one would you prefer?
I mean, I'm OPM, but but I mean, I haven't gotten to a level of cash rich yet to where I can even make that decision. So it's like, when I get there, then
so cash still rules everything around type shit. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So so I know credit affects everybody of all races in this country, but I feel like in particular, how do you think it affects the black community? What do you think? In your personal opinion, what do you think is some of the I guess the negatives that you feel like affect the black community most when it comes to just speaking on credit or just dealing with credit?
I mean, the only thing with the black community is just they're not educated on credit. Like if that's the only difference between people that know how to use it, the other races, that leverage it. It's just the knowledge. It's just a knowledge of it. But the thing about it is like, it's 2020, bro. Like you can get on the internet, Google. You can look up information. Like there's videos like on YouTube, how-to videos. I just put a video on how to read your credit report on YouTube. This week, like a lot of people don't even know how to read their credit report. So. And
if y'all need to know how to learn how to read your fucking credit report, go hit that YouTube page.
Yeah.
And leave a comment, let niggas say thank you because you didn't know what the fuck you were doing.
Exactly.
Now he brings some clarity to your life.
Exactly.
So yes, y'all make sure y'all do that. Y'all go check that out.
And there will be some more videos here soon. I've been working on some more content, so definitely to help out people.
Yeah, and that shit is definitely going to be useful, and I'm definitely going to be logging in and checking that shit out myself, because sometimes I be reading shit like, shit might as well be in Chinese, right. I don't know what the fuck they talking about on here. And I wanted to ask you as well, kind of backtracking just a little bit in regards to, like, what do you feel like is the best way to learn about credit? Was it classes? Was it seminars? Is it going on YouTube? What do you feel like is the best way to just like consume that and figure that out?
There's There's books. I mean, there's credit mastery books that you can buy. YouTube literally teaches you anything you need to know. Like, I learned how to ride a motorcycle off YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
crazy.
Literally, all the information you need is literally on the internet. So it's like, most people just don't want to go like searching and looking for it and just taking the time to do it.
Lazy.
You know, like everybody just wants things handed to them, which that's easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
most things in life are not
Right.
motherfucking easy.
Right.
You have
Exactly.
to work. You have to get your ass up, do some searches, man.
Exactly.
Goddamn.
Exactly.
Y'all motherfuckers got smartphones, man. Using this shit for nothing smart. Come on,
Right.
man.
Exactly.
Goddamn. And what do you have any books or anything that you would like a particular read that you're like, hey, bro, if you're just starting to fuck with credit, you should read. You should pick up this book. You should read that.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, Credit Mastery is a book. I think it's on Amazon. They have a few versions. I think one of them is straight Credit Mastery, where it kind of teaches you the basics of credit. And then there's another one, I think, that has like business credit. So if you want to learn about business credit. So yeah, that's pretty much a baseline for anybody that's trying to learn.
Okay, yeah, y'all go check that out for sure. Y'all tell me what y'all think, and definitely sit down and read through that, because again, I just feel like this is I'm glad we having this conversation today. Again, just like health and everything else, like credit is again one of those big things, man, and I feel like that could definitely sway your life, and knowing more about it just can help your life so fucking much.
And to touch on what you were talking about earlier, another thing that really drew me to credit, I forgot to mention this part. What really drew me to it is just the rewards, like the rewards from it, because a lot of people, for me, it's like I like to travel, so it's like, with the way my type of thinking, I try to I start thinking like, okay, well, how can I make it's an outside the box type of thinking, so it's like, okay, well, how can I make travel basically like free, right? And it's like you hear about people that be traveling for free online and all that type of stuff. You've been hearing about that stuff for years, but it's like you don't really think it's real, because like it just seems like a fairy tale. But like I figured out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to be able to leverage these credit cards to get free trips. Like I have over 100,000 points, like flight points. So it's like I could go anywhere. I could go overseas basically for free. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's another thing that really attracted me to it too. You cash back. I'll only do rewards cards, cashback cards, travel rewards cards. Then you start to get these Amex credit cards. Amex is like, that's one of the best credit card companies. Then they have all these types of rewards where one of my favorite things to do is go to. So when I travel, I like to go to the airport early now, like early, because I'll go to. They have like I have a Delta Amex Reserve, Delta Reserve card with Amex.
Sky Club.
Yeah. You know about the Sky Club?
Yes, sir, I do.
But you know about the Centurion Lounge.
See, you tell me put me on some new shit. That's some new shit. I ain't never heard of no shit like this. The private VIP.
So, like here in Phoenix, they have the Sky Club. You been in the one here in Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay, so they have the Sky Club here. Free food, free alcohol, all that type of stuff, right?
Get turned up before
right.
you flight.
I be getting there getting loaded, right? So, but the thing, let me tell you about the Centurion Lounge, okay? Because like.
They got a strip club here.
No, the Centurion Lounge. Okay, so not every airport has a Sky Club. So I was in Vegas. One time, and I was just sitting here like, I was getting online just to see if Vegas had a Sky Club, and I'm like, damn, like there's no Sky Club here in Vegas. And then what I did was I called Amex, which Amex has really good customer service, by the way. It's really good customer service. But I called them, and I'm like, hey, is there a Sky Club here in Vegas at McCarran Airport? And then they were like, no, but they said there was a Centurion Lounge, okay? So I believe like back in January, the end of January, Amex switched its policy or whatever to allow Delta Reserve members. So if you have that Delta Reserve card, you can now not only go to the Sky Miles Club, but you can go to the Centurion Lounge as well. Centurion Lounge is bougie, bro. Like, I'm talking about like this Centurion Lounge is for like black card holders. So like they got gourmet like tri-tip steak in there. Like they had peach cobbler. You already know they had the whole open bar. Like
fuck around, won't leave.
It's
fuck around, miss your flight.
But that's what I'm saying. I'll be going like. I'll go to the airport early, bro, and I'll just sit in there and I'll be eating good and I'll be working and I'll be in there, sipping a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that type of stuff is just like the perks and the rewards with just having good. Like, you can't have this if you didn't have the credit for it. Like, if I didn't have the credit for it, I wouldn't be able to reap these type of rewards.
And also, I feel like the type of people now you could be around.
Exactly.
And you could network with.
That's the biggest thing. It's bigger than eating good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really the biggest thing. Yeah. Because like these people, you're not running into these people. Like, you have to put yourself in their arena, in their space, if you want to level up and be on those type of levels, because they're not coming down to where you're at.
Nah, they ain't finding no regular commercial shit. Y'all niggas ain't catching us like that. And so shit, that is because I like fucking traveling too, and I was thinking of the same thing. Like, man, how can I figure out a way to make my travel even cheaper or be able to do it for free? And there you go. Credit being another great fucking way of being able to do that. So I just wanted to also ask you, and I know like everybody has their own, financial situation. Everybody's financial route is different. But if I just wanted to give could you give like a broad perspective? Let's say I'm 18 years old. I just got out of high school. I have no past credit, nothing. And I'm coming to you and I'm like, hey, bro, I want to get started. What advice or what would you say? Like, hey, man, this is probably like the type. Again, you ain't got to give out all the go. Because y'all want more information, you need to go to the creditbully.info. If y'all want more of this, y'all more detail for yourself. But this is more of just like a broad, like, if I'm coming to you, like, hey, bro, I want to get started. Like, what advice? Like, hey, man, you should probably get this card. You probably leave for something with this type of rates. Can you break that down for me a little bit?
So at 18, you're in a great position. You know what I'm saying? Because like your credit's not screwed up. You just don't have any credit.
Exactly.
So all you have to do is focus on building, right? So, my suggestion when you're 18 is get a secured card. So you're familiar with a secured card, right?
Yes, I am.
So you get a secured card, and then I would suggest, from there, putting on a few or maybe like one or two like trade lines, primary trade lines. That's going to shoot your score up. And then from there, once you have the primary trade line and the secure card on for about 6 months, then you can start applying for credit cards. So I've done a lot of research on like the best credit cards. Like I've created like a whole list, which I may or may not put out there for people. We'll see. It's not. I mean, I'm not hiding it or anything. It's just I just gotta do I want to put the time to put it together? Like I want a nice presentation. You know what I'm saying? So, but the best, honestly, like with me, like as far as credit cards go, besides like Amex and Chase has a few good ones. It's the credit unions. Like I love the credit unions because they're giving you the lowest interest rates and they're giving you the highest limits. So it's like even with auto loans and stuff too. It's like 3.89% interest. I've seen one of my credit unions has 2.99%. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that's definitely like the credit unions is where it's at. Is what I'm just trying to say. So
and for people that aren't too familiar with like the percentages, because I know a lot of you motherfuckers failed math class.
Let me break that down.
What's like what is like a good percentage? What's a bad percentage? What do you feel like?
So if you don't have any, like if you have really bad credit and you try to go get a car, a lot of times, this is the thing, they'll still like finance you a car, but they'll hit you with like 18, 19, 20, 22% interest. And if you run those numbers, like you are like a lot of times you'll be basically double, you'll be paying double for the car, whatever you get it for, you'll basically be paying like double. So it's like, you want to be around 18, 19, 20%, or you want to be around like 2 or 3%. Like when you have good credit too, because like what I do is like when I go get a car, I don't have to put any money down. So it's like I don't ever have to put any money down because I have good credit. When your credit sucks, like hey, can you put down $1,500, $2,000, $3,000? You know what I'm saying? So like, kind of going back to what I was saying before about, having good credit and then basically being able to make it work for you. One of the things that I do is, this is, a little game for you. One of the things that I do is Earn Your Leisure podcast. I know you're familiar with it.
For sure. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure podcast.
Right. So there is one episode they were talking about this platform called Hire, HYRE. It's kind of like Turo, but it's but it is for people that do like Lyft, Uber, that type of stuff, right? So I was looking, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, So I had a car. I got a car that I financed. What was that? Probably I got it like 4 or 5 months ago, and I was just thinking like, I want to try to make some bread off this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I already got the car for no money down. Now I put it on there and it's booming. Like my car is rented every single day. So it's like what I'm doing now from here is I got good enough credit to go get another car. And then I'm going to put that on there too. So now I'm doubling up my income from, the first car to the second car. So it's like from there, then I can go get another car if I want to. You know what I'm saying? And by that time, that could be my car and I'm basically driving for free.
Because the other 2 cars is paying for the one.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's another, outside the box type of thinking, too. It's like, how can I do this for free? Like, that's my...
And how can you turn this credit leverage into ways of income?
Exactly.
Passive income.
Exactly.
I see. I like that. And like I said, y'all go check out some of them credit cards. And the best overall credit card you'll say is probably the black card, right?
Yeah. I mean, they come with the most benefits, I would say. Yeah. But, I mean... You got the cash flow got to be right. Like they want to see real financials. You got to have a real relationship with Amex to even get to that point.
Because I used to work for Amex for a little bit, and I remember I used to sell like security and shit to cars. And I remember like them. We had like a whole section of just talking about a black car. And they're like, basically, you ain't gonna be talking to motherfuckers. Yeah, that's like for another.
It's elite. It's elite. Like that black card is elite, but I think you have to have like. It's a minimum spend of $250,000 a year on the black card. So, like you really got to be,
swiping that motherfucker for sure. For some people, that might be just one transaction.
Yeah, one, like you could go get go buy a Porsche off the black card, swipe that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy. Like, and one quick other thing I wanted to ask. This is you kind of answered it before because I wanted to say like what was a good way? What was the best way to leverage your credit? Like, what is the best leverage points to have good credit? Like, what do you think? Like, having good credit is good for. What do you like? The top 3 things you would say, like, hey man, you can get you this, boom, boom, boom. Like, what do you think?
So one, I just said hire, right? So I just basically am creating a cash flow machine for myself through. Automobiles or cars, you know what I'm saying? So that, and then, but I would say what's above that would be real estate. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could qualify for a home to purchase it, or even, like some with the Airbnb, which, it's kind of a little shaky now just because of what we're dealing with. But, outside of that, there's a lot of people that do something that's called rental arbitrage. So it's like if you're able to qualify to get in a rented apartment, you can Airbnb that apartment out. Not every area or city kind of allows that, but you can do that. But again, like just qualifying, like if you could qualify for a mortgage and now you have a home, right? So it's like you can live in that home for a year, 2 years, and then if you want to just turn that into a rental, go get another home. Now it's like, now now you have 2 properties. Income, you have one income producing asset, and then you have one home for yourself. And then if you want to follow that plan for like the next 10 years, like how many properties are you gonna have? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Playing Monopoly in real life for sure. And that's funny that you said that because that was rolling into my next question real quick. Is that's what I wanted to do for this is kind of like a personal question because I wanted to be able to start buying townhomes and homes for the future for passive income to rent them out. And how do you feel like having good credit would give me an advantage in that venture?
Well, you have to be able to qualify. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to qualify for financing with the mortgage. So if you can't qualify, you could just go ahead and forget about it.
And what do you feel like is the minimum amount to? Because I'm sure that the credit rate changes depending on what you're trying to get. If I'm trying to get a fucking $5 million house, like, nigga, of course it's gonna be, bro. On average, what do you feel like? Hey man, if you're usually around this area, you should usually be good.
Yeah, I think the minimum is for FHA. I think it's about 620. I'm in the real estate game too, so I'm pretty knowledgeable in that area. So I believe it's about 620. But another thing that they're looking at is not just credit. They want to see that you're making money. You know what I'm saying? Because how is your ability to pay? Like, do you have an ability to pay for this mortgage? How do you do? Like, do you have a bunch of late credit card payments? Like, are you late on your car? Like, it's that underwriting. They're looking at more than just credit. They want to see your bank account your bank statements for the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. It's credit's the big thing, but obviously too they want to see the paper trail of your income as well.
I got you.
So yeah.
I got you.
And then also you said 3 things. The last thing I would say for leveraging your credit is just being able to have access to money now. So you now have access to money. So again, if you did have a business venture that you wanted to do, like, you have the access to money to be able to make that happen now. So, basically, you can become the investor. You turn yourself into the bank.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And, bro, these are all great points, man. And please, I hope y'all been taking notes and writing shit down. We're going to have to take a quick break. We're going to go pay these bills real quick. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with the Homies Podcast. And Kyle, y'all don't go nowhere, bro. Peace. Yo, welcome back to the Homies Podcast. I'm here with my special guest, the homie Kyle James. We'll be in here talking about this credit and talking about how it can affect your life in a positive way and in a negative way. Hopefully, y'all are taking tips, writing shit down. But if you need more professional advice, that's more personal to yourself, please hit the homie Kyle up on IG at thecreditbully.info. He'll hit you up, have this consultation. Y'all can, get down. He'll give you all the info you need, man. So, before he got out of here, just like him and the other guests I've had on here, and including myself, we are huge Hoops fans. And since Hoops has been off lately, can't fucking do shit, watch shit, niggas playing old games and shit back on ESPN. But what is on right now is this 10-part documentary called Last Dance, with following the Bulls and following with the last season, the 97-98 season and shit. So first I ask, like, how you feel about the documentary so far? How's it?
It's hard.
You like it?
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's hard for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't wait for that shit. It's Sunday. I can't wait for that shit to come on again tonight. I will be glued in tonight too.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you, man. Is Jordan the best player in the modern era that we've seen? So like from 70s to now.
Yeah, it's
you sound so unsure, bro. Go on, man.
Like I was saying, Kobe and Michael Jordan are pretty much the same type of player. Michael Jordan was just a little bit more athletic, obviously, and then they also had the similar mentality. Their mentality was pretty much the same. Like, win at all costs, and they're really competitive. Then you have, then you got LeBron James, which I love. I love LeBron. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't really come with that energy, like that same type of energy. Yeah. Like, he didn't really take it personal like Jordan and Kobe took it personal. But at the end of the day, like, the way he's built. You know what I'm saying? Like what he can do, like we saw right before, those last 2 games with the Bucks and the Clippers. Like if he plays like that, he's a pro. You know what I'm saying? Like he can go championship after championship if he plays like that. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen him a number of years not play like that in the playoffs, like not show up in the playoffs, and that's
finals.
Not show up in the finals, and then
that shit just like I said, he's yeah, like I said, LeBron, he's cold, but yeah, when it comes to Jordan, I just feel like he just in that, especially in that era from like 88 to like 99,
Yeah.
like nigga, no, I can't think of a better 10-year run
Right.
a motherfucker had. Like you came in the league averaging 28, which
Right.
is fucking stupid, people. I don't know if people even understand. Like most niggas go their whole careers and never average. As a rookie, this nigga's giving niggas 28 and shot at a high clip.
Yeah.
Which is even more. He shot like 50-something%. Even though back then, niggas weren't really shooting like they are now. So it's like more go to the cup. That's why the game is more physical. It's more slowed down.
Yeah.
Go to the cup. And that's why rebounding and shit. But now it's like, nigga, we shooting threes, rebounds along. Niggas ain't really banging like that down low like that. So do you think Jerry Krause, do you think he an asshole or what you think?
100%. It's like he was he was just a hater. That's really what it was. He's a hater.
And does that like make you mad as a fan? Because this shit happens. Everybody has egos. It is like, how often do you think that shit happens where the fans get fucked out of seeing a person that is really good or can perform just because a GM or somebody feels some type of way?
I mean, you start. I know when you was watching it, you was like tight about it. It's like bro, like why would you do like what I'm saying? Like this is a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Like they three-peated twice. Like what are you talking about?
Give these people whatever they need.
But on the flip side of it, we would have never had Phil and Kobe and Shaq in LA. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just like what we were talking about with when Shaq left Orlando and Penny was, sad. You know what I'm saying? Like his career was over pretty much after that. So it's like, but if he would have never left, it would never have been Kobe and Shaq in LA. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So and they three-peated over there in LA. So
and that was the one that made felt more to me anyway.
Right.
The Kobe and Shaq one, because we fuck with the Lakers gang or don't bang over here all day.
Right.
So, is it just me? Was it weird that the fucking owner kept talking like he was just like some side nigga in the story? Like I didn't like that. He was just like, yeah, man, the motherfuckers kept talking like, nigga, you run this whole shit. Yeah. You signed both of their checks. Nigga, like, what you mean?
And also too, just the way he was acting towards Phil Jackson. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that was. You remember that too?
Yeah.
Like, and then, let me tell you what was really disrespectful. The most disrespectful thing I've seen so far. Bro, Scottie Pippen, 7 years, $18 million. That contract, bro, was so disrespectful.
This was the very next thing I was going to ask you. It was the very next thing I was going to say, bro, is this nigga Scotty's contract the most So I looked this contract up, and I want y'all to look this shit. And again, I don't like talking to other niggas' money. This they money, make whatever. But I'm like, bro, he made more money, bro, in 2 years playing with, the Blazers than the nigga made 10 years.
When he was in his prime, at his best.
And winning championships.
Yeah.
That shit is stupid.
Yeah.
And and side note to Jordan, you an asshole for that. Hey, man, you the GOAT, but you an asshole for saying that this nigga, he was selfish. Hey, bro, don't talk on another nigga's bread like that. I saw Jordan shit. Granted, too, Jordan was getting fucked his whole career, too. That nigga was not making... Jordan's making, $2-3 million a season up until, this last 2 seasons with the Bulls. And then that nigga was like, no, I need everything. And nigga got $30 million and $33 million. That nigga was making far more than anybody in the league, as he should. And I feel like, shit, he probably should have been making that 30-something million probably for the last 4 or 5 seasons before that. So it's just and I understand that, but it's bro, that's probably why he couldn't get paid either. It's you taking up fucking majority of the goddamn salary cap, bro, with your contract. You were hey, bro, let me take, like how niggas do now. I'll take 5, 7 less so you can pay. Yeah. A lot of these niggas get so much money off the court now, too. They're I'll take a little bit because I'm going to make that back. But, yeah, that nigga Jordan was no, I ain't giving up none of my motherfucking paper. Is Scotty the most underrated player in the last 20, 30 years?
Probably. I mean, Especially, I mean, that his contract was underrated too.
Yo, agent ain't shit, bro.
No, and that's another thing too. I was trying to think, like, did an agent negotiate that, or did he not have an agent and he did it himself? That's what I want to know. Because any good agent would never, like, come on, bro. That's a disrespectful contract.
You have to, and it's like after you win the first and second, like, y'all ain't gonna renegotiate.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna put no incentives in my shit. Like, come on, bro. That's weird. I don't know. At least I think that's weird. But which is crazy. He made, even though he played 3 more seasons than Jordan, he made more money than Jordan.
In basketball?
Yeah, in basketball.
Yeah.
Just basketball. Not, endorsements. That shit's out of here. Mm-hmm. But he played 3 more seasons too. But his last 4 or 5 years, 6 years, like, that nigga was getting paid. Yeah. And the first big one was when we went to Orlando, went to Houston right after. They paid a nigga like $11 million. And it's like, nigga, your last 2 seasons, like, he was making like $3 million the season before, $2 million the season. Yeah. It's like, damn, nigga, you just made the last 5 seasons. Hell yeah, I would have left too. Yeah. So, that shit is crazy. And I just, I don't understand where he's going to fit in the top. Because I was thinking about the top 50 list. You know how I feel like, hey, they have to redo that. And I feel like in the next 10 years, we should do another top 50 list. Because obviously, hey, my nigga, I love Bob Cousy. You're great, bro. But Kevin Durant, come on, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I was just wondering, I'm like, damn, if they redo the top 50 list, is Pippen on that motherfucker still? And I was like, he might still be. Yeah. He might still be, because there's not a lot of players that can get 20 and can lock up.
Right.
He could basically lock up the 1 through 4. Like,
is Dennis Rodman on that top 50 list?
He might be. Dennis Rodman's a dog, bro. And yes, Dennis Rodman makes my top 50 all time still, because you average more rebounds than Shaq, Karl Malone, like Tim Duncan, like.
Hey, but did you see too? I mean, they're probably gonna go into it more in like the next episode, but he was at one point like kind of more famous than Jordan was.
For sure. At that time where, he was doing the...
He really set it off, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he really set it off.
Because he was that wild shit that fans want to see. We want to see basketball. We come to see Jordan, but we want to see that extra shit. Yeah. We want to see a nigga take his jersey off and fucking do... Again, I feel like that's almost like with Draymond on the team. Like, we come to see Seth, but we also come to see Draymond kind of wild out too a little bit. Like, so it's like, he was, and that nigga did it to the max.
No, definitely.
So and I feel like Jordan also too is like, almost like Kobe, like a real closed off dude. Like, he don't have a lot of public shit. You know what I mean? He's a real private dude. Back then before camera phones and shit. Right. I was like, I could just go duck off real easy. But, so, I gotta ask you, before the cameras came on, I asked him this to start thinking about this. So I gotta ask you, bro, who is your top 5 hoopers of all time?
So it'll be Jordan, Kobe, Shaq.
Okay.
LeBron James is in that conversation too.
So he's your 4th spot, or he's just not in any order, really.
It's not in any order.
Okay,
but he's in that. And then maybe I would say KD.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably say KD.
Your shit kind of looking a little close to mine. Yeah. A little close to mine, because I got Jordan, I got Kobe, I got Kareem though. Then I got Magic. Then I got my 5th spot is either KD, LeBron, or Wade.
Okay, so I'm glad you didn't disrespect LeBron, because I know how you like to disrespect LeBron. So I'm glad you didn't disrespect him.
I'm a hooper, and again, I tell people you can hate, but also it has to be a healthy hate. Yeah. Like, you can't just be oblivious. The man gets buckets. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer if he stops playing today. Yeah. He never has to dribble again. You're in that elite hall. So it's just like, I know that, but it's still just little things about you, nigga, that when people be going off, you're better than Jordan, I'm like, y'all niggas need to calm down. Like, in Shaq, he probably would have made my 5th, but just Shaq, to me, always, like, I go back and again, like when I watch the game, I'm like, you're fucking dominant. Especially like in series, it's like you can't game plan for this nigga because he controls the pace of the game. He could like everything. So it's just like, but just seeing like his potential is like, bro, you never led the league in rebounds. You never led the league in blocks. You never averaged over 30. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like. You never, like, Jordan did that 10 years straight.
Yeah.
You never averaged over 30. So it's just like, but again, a fucking beast. So it's just like, again, and nobody that guarded that nigga, like KG said that. He's just like, he came back out of shape. He's just like, nigga, nobody playing him or had to guard him for saying that
Especially
shit.
Young Shaq, remember how he used to move? Because he didn't have all that weight. So
he a rebound and run on your ass.
Yeah.
Put that bitch on the floor.
Yeah. He was athletic when he first came into the league.
Yeah, you ain't never seen no shit. Still, we starting to see, even people to this day, we still don't see that because, like, people like Greek Freak and people that have that athleticism, they don't have that size like he got.
Right.
Like, they, like, more skinny, lankier, and can do that. But that nigga was, like, he got that weight and can get your ass out of here type shit.
He was definitely moving.
Breaking backboards and shit.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to Shaq, man. God damn, bro. You're fucking ridiculous, bruh. So, before we get up out of here, man, I just wanted to anything you wanted to plug, anything you wanted to tell to the people, anything you wanted to say, let the people know what's up, where they can find you.
Yeah, if you guys are looking to get a consultation or you want to get your credit right, you can go to my website. It's www.creditbully.info, or you can go to the Instagram, creditbully.info. Same thing on Facebook. Just you either see the value in it or you don't. I mean, for some people, it makes sense. For others, it doesn't. So, I'm more than happy to help anybody that contacts me. So,
hell yeah, hit him up, man.
Yeah.
Get your fucking life together. Y'all out here running around with this fucked up ass credit, putting shit in your kid's name. Stop that shit. Get grown. Hit my man up.
Right.
Let him know what's good. Get your life fucking on track, man. I'm telling you. And please, again, if y'all haven't, go hit that subscribe button one time for your boy. It'll show up even somewhere. If y'all watching this shit, it'll show up somewhere on your screen too. Go hit that goddamn subscribe button. Hit that one time. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. You can also find us on iHeartRadio now too. Go holler at those, man. Go shout out the Homies Podcast. Get in our mentions. Get in our comments. Holler at us. Let us know what y'all want to see or what y'all want to talk about. But we're going to start having episodes coming up soon, too. We're going to start going live on IG. And we're going to start having little videos like that, too. So y'all stay tuned to those and shit. But once again, we love y'all. And we'll holler back at y'all again next week at the Homies Podcast. See y'all then. Peace.